Good morning, student. Today we are going to discuss chapter 3, playing with number, exercise 3.5. Question number 1 of this exercise 3.5 is that which of the following statements are true? Okay, the first part of question number A, question number 1 is given. If a number is divisible by 3, it must be divisible by 9. This is given that part A here. If a number is divisible by 3, if a number is divisible by 3, it must be divisible by 9. It must be divisible by 9. Okay. So this statement is true or false. We need to find here. Okay. The statement is given: if a number is divisible by 3, it means that it must be divisible by 9. This is true or false. So how we take decision? This number is true or false. If a number is divisible by 3, this is also divisible by 9. So first we take some examples. If a number is divisible by 3, that is, if this is also divisible by 9, then you can say this statement is true. If this number is not divisible by 9, then you can say this statement is false. Okay. So for this we select any random number. So you can 18. We take 18. 18, this is a numbers, and this number is divisible by 3. So it means that we have done 6. This number is divisible by 3, and if you take this is also divisible by 9 2 times. In this case is right, but we take another numbers. For example, 12. If we take 12, so here 3 divides 12 in 4 times, but 9 does not divide 12. 9 does not divide 12. Okay, again we take a number 6. So 6 is divisible by 3. 6 is divisible by 3, but 6 is not divisible by 9. So you can say we take 2 or 3 examples and try to find that if a number is divisible by 9 and divisible by 3, then it must be divisible by 9. So here you can see any number that divisible by 3, this is not necessary that it is also divisible by 9. If any number is divisible by 3, this is not necessary that is also divisible by 9. So okay, so you can see a lot of example. So it means that our statement is false. Okay, our statement is false. So we write here. We use here for false. Okay, statement is here. If a number is divisible by 3, it means it must be divisible by 9. So this is a false statement, because a number 12 is divisible by 3, but 12 is not divisible by 9. If we take another example, 6 is divisible by 3 in 2 times, but 6 does not divisible by 9. Okay, so this is our given statement is false. Now we take second B part. Second statement of this question, you can say this is the B part. B part, what is the B part? If a number is divisible by 9, it must be divisible by 3. Okay, here this is given: if a number is divisible by 9, divisible by 9, it must be divisible by 3. Okay, here this is true statement. Why this is true? How to we take decision? This is true statements because 3 is the multiple of 9 is the multiple of 3. If a number is divisible by 9, it must be divisible by 3. This is true because we take here some example and try to prove it. Okay, suppose we take 27. 27 is divisible by 9. This is 3 times. Okay, and 27 is also divisible by 3, 9 times. 9 is divisible by 9 1 times, but 9 is also divisible by 3 in 3 times. Or you can say if here 9 is the multiple of 3. So all those numbers who is divided by 9, that number is also divided by 3. The divisibility test of 9 and the divisibility test of 3 both are same. Divisibility test of 9 is that a number is divisible by 9 if the sum of digits of the number is divisible by 9. What is the divisibility test of 9? A number is divisible by 9 if the sum of digits of the number is divisible by 9. And the divisibility test of 3 is that a number is divisible by 3 if the sum of digits of the number is also divisible by 3. So in this case, a number is divisible by 9, it must be divisible by 3 because 9 is the multiple of 3, and you can see these examples. And again we take any examples like 36. 36 is a number, we take random numbers, and 36 is divisible by 9 in 4 times, and if you divide 36 again by 3, this is also divisible by 3, okay, in 12 times. So you can say if a number is divisible by 9, it must be divisible by 3. So this is our true statement. This statement is true. Clear? Now next part and C part question number 1 is that a number is divisible by 18. A number is divisible by 18 if it is divisible by both 3 and 6. A number is divisible by 18 if it is divisible by both 3 and 6. So here you take some example and try to verify this statement. Okay, so first we raise this. In C part, this is given a number is divisible by 18. A number is divisible by 18 if it is divisible by 3 and 6. Okay, so if you take example 12, really the number is divisible by 3 4 times, and 12 is also divisible by 6 2 times. Clear? But 12 is not divisible by 18. 12 is not divisible by 18. Clear? But in our statement, this is given that a number is divisible by 18 if it is divisible by 6 and 3. A number is divisible by 18 if it is divisible by both 3 and 6. Here a number 12 is a number which is divisible by 3 and 6 both, but this is not divisible by 18. Okay, so in this way you can say the given statement is false. Again we take another example, try to prove it true. Okay, we take random numbers 24. Okay, 24. Sorry, 24. 24 is divisible by 3 8 times, and again 24 is divisible by 6 4 times, but 24 is not divisible by 18. Is not divisible by 18, but our statement is told us that a number is divisible by 18 a number is divisible by 18 if it is divisible by 3 and 6. So here you can see we take two examples, 12 and 24. Both are divisible by 3 and 6, but it is not divisible by 18. So now we take another examples. If we take a random numbers 42 is divisible by 42 is a number which is divisible by 3. Then answer is we obtain 14. Okay, and other, this is also divisible by 6. This is also divisible by 6. Then we find the quotient is 7. But this is not divisible by 18. If it 18 is not divided 32, so we not obtain any quotient. Clear? So student, I hope all of you understood and that a number is divisible by 18 if it is divisible by both 3 and 6. Here you can see we take a lot of examples, and here also we take 42, and 42 is divisible by 3, then we obtain quotient 14, and 42 is also divisible by 6, then we obtain quotient 7, but 42 is not divisible by 18. Okay, then we have nothing obtain quotient. Okay, so in this way you can see the given statements is false. That is, the statement is a number is divisible by 18. It must be divisible by both 3 and 6. Now we are going to discuss next part. It means D. You can say D part. D part is that a number is divisible by 9 and 10 both. Then it must be divisible by 90. So let's see how to take decision that this number is true or false. So C part is false. Okay, C part of this question is false because a number is divisible by 18 if it is divisible by 3 and 6 both. So here you can take more than 2 examples, and we find that any number that is divisible by 3 and 6, this is not necessary that it is also divisible by 18. Okay, now our next question is that question number D. Question number D is that if a number is divisible by 9 and 10 both, if a number is divisible by 9 and 10 both, then it must be divisible by 90. So let's see. But here you can see the LCM of 9 and 10 is 90. So you can say the number is divisible by 9. Then it is also a number is divisible by 9 and 10. Then it is also divisible by 90. But here we need to know what is the divisibility test of 9. What is the divisibility test of 9? The sum of digit of number. If a number is given, so sum of digit of a number is divisible by 9, then you can say this number is divisible by 9. Okay, and what is the divisibility test of 10? If a number is divisible by 10, if a number is divisible by 10, if its unit digit is 0, or you can say its last digit is 0. Okay, so we select some random numbers that divisible by 9 and 10 also. It means that sum of digit is divisible by 9 and the last digit of the number is 0. So for this we take this number is divisible by 9 or 10. You can see. So first we find for divisibility test of 9, we can write sum of digit. Sum of this 2 plus 7 plus 0 is equal to 9. Okay, so this sum of digits is divisible by 9 because 9 is divided itself. So this number is divisible by 9. It means that this number is 270 is divisible by 9. Then we have 30. Again, now, and what is the divisibility test of 10? The divisibility test of 10 is that a number is divisible by 10 if its last digit, or you can say in this place digit is 0. So here you can say last digit is 0, or you can say unit place digit is 0. It means that this number is divisible by 10. So 270 divide 10, then we have 10 27. So this number 27 is also divisible by 9 and 10, but we are trying to find it is also divisible by 90 or not. So if we here you can see 270 is divisible by 90 or not. So how many times? 3 times. So in this way you can say a number is divisible by 9 and 10 both, then that number is divisible by 9. For these examples, so according to these examples, on the basis of these examples, we can take the given statement is true, but we take under some examples that we verify that a number is divisible by 9 and 10, it is also divisible by 90. Okay, so for this we take another example. Now we take 630. Okay, so this number is divisible by 9. How many times? Because sum of digits 6 plus 3 9 plus 0. So 6 plus 3 plus 0 is equal to 9. It means that this number is divisible by 9. Okay, so we apply here 70. And this number is also divisible by 10. Okay, what is according to the divisibility test of 10 is that if a number is divisible by 10, a number is divisible by 10 if its last digit is 0. So here you can see the last digit or unit place digit is 0 here, and so this number is divisible by 10. Okay, again according to our statement, if a number is divisible by 9 and 10 both, then it is divisible by, then it is must to divisible by 90. So you can see here 630 is divisible by 90. How many times? 7 times. Okay, so it means that the given statement is true. So statement D is, we can write here, true. Okay, what is the statement D? Statement D is that if two numbers, if a number is divisible by 9 and 10 both, then it must be divisible by 90. Okay, so now I hope all have understood these questions, this statement that a number is divisible by 9 and 10 both, it means it must be divisible by 90. Okay, now we are going to discuss next part of this question. Question is that if two numbers are co-prime, at least one of them must be prime. If two numbers are co-primes, okay, so at least one of them is prime numbers. So first here you need to know what is co-prime numbers. After this we take decision this statement is true or false. Okay, so if pair of two numbers which is no common factor between except one, pair of two factors, pair of two numbers, pair of numbers which is no common factor except than one, you can say no common factor between them. So here if you take 15 16, this is a pair of numbers, and in which here no common factor between them except one. Okay, pair of a number in which no common factor between them, this is called co-prime number. So you can see here 15 and 16 both a pair of number, and both in between them is no any factor, common factors. Okay, so this is co-prime numbers. Okay, but here 15 is a odd number, is a composite number, 16 is also composite number. So but our statement is that if two numbers are co-prime, at least one of them must be prime. So here you can see this is a co-prime, but no one of them is prime. So our given statement is false. Okay, we take another example. If you take 32, 35 or 45, okay, this is a pair of numbers, but it have no common factor, no any common factor between them except one. So this is a co-prime number, but nobody is prime number. Nobody is prime number. This is composite number. This is composite number. So here one things I want to clear. What is prime number? What is prime number? what is prime number? A number which have only two factors. A number which have only two factors is called prime numbers. Here you can see 32 have more than two factors, 45 have more than two factors. So this is not prime number, this is composite number. Here also 13, 15 and 16 have more than two factors. So this is a prime number. But here 15 and 16 have no common factor other than 1. Here 32 and 45 have no common factor other than 1. So this is co-prime number. This is co-prime number. But this is not necessary that if a pair of a number is co-prime, that it in which any numbers is primes. Okay, this is not necessary that. But according to the co-prime numbers, a pair of number which have no common factor other than 1. Okay, so in this way you can say the given statement, if two numbers are co-primes, two numbers are co-prime, at least one of them must be prime. So this is a false. Okay, so this is a D part, E part is false. Clear? E part is that if two numbers are co-prime, at least one of them must be prime. This is a false statement. Okay, and F part is that all the numbers which are divisible by 4 must also divisible by 8. All those numbers which divisible by 4 must also divisible by 8. This is true or false. So let's see through some examples. Okay, so here we take a 12 is divisible by 4. You know very well. And so in 3 times, but 12 is not divisible by 8. 12 is divisible by 4, but 12 is not divisible by 8. But our statement just told that all the numbers which are divisible by 4, must also be divisible by 8. But here you can see the 12 is divisible by 4, but 12 is not divisible by 8. And again we take another examples. 28 is divisible by 4. How many times? 7 times. But 28 is not divisible by 8. 28 is not divisible by 8. So on the basis of this examples, you can say our given statement is false. What is the statements? All those numbers which are divisible by 4, must also be divisible by 8. So this statement is false. Clear? Now we are going to discuss next part of this question number 1. This is G part. G part is that all numbers which are divisible by 8 must be also divisible by 4. So let's see how we clear that this statement is true or false. For this we take some examples, and that a number is divisible by 8. So if a number is divisible by 8, it is also divisible by 4. But here you can see 8 is a multiple of 4. So if 8 divides any numbers, it means that also 4 is also divided that numbers. So this is the true statements. But let's see some example. So here our F part is that F part is false. Why this is false? Because this is given all those numbers with divisible by 4, and that is also divisible by 8. But here we take a lot of example that 12 and 28 both are divisible by 4, but this is not divisible by 8. So the given statement is false. Now G part. What is G part? G part is that all the number which are divisible by 8 must also divisible by 4. So let some examples. If you take 24 is divisible by 8. How many times? 3 times. And 24 is also divisible by 4. 6 times. So this is true according to this example. Again we take some other examples. 32 is divisible by 8 4 times. 32 is also divisible by 4. How many times? 8 times. So this is second example. Also verify that our statement is true, that all numbers which is divisible by 8 must also be divisible by 4. And we take one other examples like 48. 48 is divisible by 8 by 6 times. Okay, if we divide 48 by 8, we obtain 6, and 48 is also divisible by 4. How many times? 12 times. Okay, so in this way you can see all those numbers which divisible by 8 must also be divisible by 4. Okay, so in this way you can say our statement is true. G part is true. Okay, what is the statement of G part? All numbers which are divisible by 8 must also divisible by 4. So this statement is true on the basis of some examples we take here. And also you can say because 8 is the multiple of 4, so if it divides any number, then 4 is also divided that numbers, because 8 is the multiple of 4, or you can say 4 divides 8. Okay, now each part of this question number 1 is that the statement of 8 part is that if a number is exactly divisible by two numbers separately, if a number is exactly divisible by two numbers separately, it must exactly divisible by their sum. Okay, if a number exactly divisible by, if a number exactly divides two numbers separately, if it must exactly divide their sum. Okay, so let's see how to solve this question. Okay, so here this is given the H part of this question number 1, that if a number exactly divides two numbers separately, suppose 4 divide two numbers separately, 12 divide 4 8, okay, 3 times, and 4 also divide 8, 4 is also divided 8. So you can see here 2 times. So here 4 divide two numbers separately, and according to our statement, it is also divide their sum. So sum of 8 and 12, what is the sum of 8 and 12? This is also divisible by 4, their sum. Okay, so their sum is equal to, what is their sum? 20, but here you can see 20 is also divisible by 4. Okay, so in this example you can say this is a right statement, but I want to take some other example to clarify this statement. Okay, so here you can take some other example. 12 is divisible by 3. Clear? Okay, and we take an example 15. 15 is also divisible by 3 5 times. Okay, so they are sum. 3 divides 12 and 15 separately. 3 divides 12 and 15 separately. So their sum, if their sum is divided by 3, then we can say this statement is true. So here sum of 12 plus 15 is 27. Here you can see 27 is divisible by 3. So student also understood that if a number divides two numbers separately, then it must be exactly divide their sum. Okay, because here we can take two numbers and we divide separately, and after this we sum them, then that number is also divisible by that number. And here we take some examples. 3 divide 12 and 3 divide 15 separately, but we find there some 27, so we can say 3 also divide 27. So it means that this statement is true. What is the statement? Statement is that if a number exactly divides two numbers separately, it must exactly divide their sum. Okay. So student, I hope all of you understood, and this is enough for today. Thank you for watching. Jai Hind. This is true.